Are you ready to test your advanced English? Well, even if you're not, have a go anyway, because this is just a nice, safe environment to mess around and play with these words. We're going to give you some sentences and you're going to try and find the right word. Here we go. My name's Dan and you're watching ISpeakSpokeSpoken.com. So let's have a look at our first example. So I'm going to read the sentence, I'm going to give you a little bit of time, then I'll give you the answer and I'll tell you what that word means, okay? So these are words you probably understand, you'll probably have a look at. There are a couple of words maybe you don't know. These might be the answer, you never know, we'll see. So, the company's policies lead to significant environmental damage. So we're kind of looking for a negative word. I'll give you a few seconds to think what you think it might be. Okay, so the answer is pernicious, this answer here. And if you look at the pronunciation, we have pernicious. There's where the stress goes. And although it's quite a long word, it's actually quite a short pronunciation, so you can say it quite easily. What does it mean? Well, it means a slow and gradual negative effect. So a pernicious policy will be a policy that causes a slow and gradual negative effect. Okay, number 2. Again, I'll go through the question and I'll give you a few seconds. Despite numerous suggestions for compromise, the committee remained in their decision. Okay, so what do you think could be the answer here? You've got 4 options. So the answer is intransigent. Intransigent. And here we have the stress, so trans, intransigent. What does it mean? Means without flexibility, so something that's not flexible, or a committee, for example, here that is not flexible in their decisions. So they don't change from what they want to do. Okay, so number 3. Now please don't worry about these levels of words because it is quite advanced, so it's just a bit of fun. Just have fun with it. So the character in the novel hatched a plan to overthrow the government. So overthrowing a government is actually quite a negative thing, so you're maybe looking for a negative word. That's just a hint. Okay, so yes, the answer is nefarious. Nefarious. And pronunciation-wise, we stress on the second syllable, nefarious. And again, it's got this ear sound, so it's nice. It's a nice word to say, and it's not too difficult to actually pronounce. What does it mean? It means an immoral or unfortunate, evil kind of plan. So it's kind of got very negative overtones. You can always look up these words as well. You can stop the video, you can have a look at what they mean, and you can find the definitions in your own favorite dictionaries. Okay, number 4. Her moods are quite. 1 minute she's joyful, and the next she's upset. Now that can actually give you a couple of hints as to what it might be. If she changes like this, is she steady? Probably not. Constant, unchanging? There you go, you have your answer. It's capricious or capricious. It depends where you're from to how you might say it. I say capricious. Depends. Okay, what does it mean? Well, it means very changeable. Very prone to having mood swings or changing things or something that's not constant. Number 5. The professor's lecture on quantum physics was so that only a few students could follow it. So, think about the sentence that you're looking at and think about the options you've got. Now, if only a few students could follow it, it's not going to be simple. Probably not clear. Known doesn't really fit, but it's not going to be this either. So, esoteric is the one we're looking for. Esoteric. Again, we have this on the 3rd syllable actually, esoteric. So what does it mean? It means something that's pitched especially at certain types of people with certain types of knowledge. So it's not pitched at everyone. It's only for people who understand already nearly, pretty much. So this is what it means. And actually, it's a good word to use in many different political or debate scenarios. And like you can use this, especially with this one, you can use a process of elimination to find the word you need, as we did today between us. You can see how it works. So let's have a look at the next one then. Number 6, using a typewriter in the modern office is an... What's the word? What could it be? Well, we had a bit of a hint there. We have the an, so we know it's not this one because we can't say an norm. But what will it be? What do these words mean? Yes, you're correct. Anachronism. Anachronism. Okay, so again, because we have this stress on the second syllable, we have this schwa, this sound here. So anachronism, excuse me. What does it mean? It actually means something that is from a different time or period used in a wrong context. Okay, so something that is not in the place where it should be. Usually to do with technology or ideas. Okay, so remember you can download the slides and you can go through these slides again, you can practice and you can do the quiz at the end of the slides to make sure that you've thought and gone through and understood this video really well. So let's look at number 7. The politician was often criticized for being always promoting military action. So what could that word be? Have a look. Okay, yes, warmonger, warmonger. Okay, this we have it. It's quite a nice word to say, actually, warmonger. And it's good to practice. Just try it a few times, warmonger. So what does it mean? It means somebody who is pro and pushes the idea of war. You can see that the other words are actually quite different. Diplomat is somebody who's diplomatic. Pacifist, somebody who wants peace and doesn't want to have any conflict. And negotiator is, of course, the person who's willing to enter into negotiation, enter into talks. So actually, on this sense, if you know the other words, you'll be able to make an elimination even if you weren't sure about this one. Okay, number 8. In many historical events, one group or individual was made for larger societal problems. Okay, this is a word that's actually very useful to know. Let's just have a think first. What could it be? Okay, actually the word that we're looking for is scapegoat, this one here. Now, think about what it might mean. It's actually the person that takes the blame, or the person or thing that is set up to take most of the blame, okay, for all the problems that might happen. We have hero here, which we know doesn't fit. We have leader, which again, we know is not completely correct. And solution is actually not a relevant word for this situation anyway. So scapegoat is a good one. And it's a good one to remember because you can often use it when you're talking to colleagues or when you're talking in negotiation even. It's a good one to know. And you'll find it, you'll see it in the media quite a lot as well. Okay, number 9. The speaker captivated the audience with her endless anecdotes and stories. So think about this. What could it be? Okay, the word we're looking for here is loquacious, and loquacious has the stress on the second syllable. So what does it mean? It actually means somebody who talks a lot, somebody who has a lot of things to say. It doesn't necessarily mean, it's not necessarily positive. It can be used in a negative form. It depends how you structure it in the sentence. But in this sentence, it actually takes on a positive role. So loquacious meaning somebody who has a lot to say, a lot of things to give to you verbally. Okay, number 10. His for knowledge made him spend hours in the library every day. So what could that be? Have a look at the words we have on there. So yeah, it's veracity. Veracity. So what does veracity mean? It means like a thirst or a need, a strong need for something. So if you really need your knowledge, you spend your time in the library every day. Okay, number 11. The events unfolded, leading inevitably to the downfall of the empire. Okay, so what might be here? Have a think. Yep, it's inexorably. Inexorably. There's where our stress is. Now, it means without change, carrying on completely, not wavering, always being on the same track. Okay, so not changing, just going forward, constant. Okay, here we are at number 12 then. The CEO faced either invest in new technology and risk debt, or maintain the status quo and risk obsolescence. Just be aware of this silent B here in debt. It's one thing that's important. So have a look at the potentials. Okay, it's conundrum. Conundrum. Here we are. Difficult decision. Very complex decision. Okay? Okay, number 13. She offered of reasons for why the project was delayed. Okay, so what could this be? Have a look. Right, the answer here, the correct answer is plethora. Plethora. And it means many. A big amount or a large choice. Okay? This is what we're using for this one. But actually you can see some of the other words might fit. So shortage of reasons might fit too, depending on the context. But so, if you said shortage, you weren't completely wrong. But we think that plethora goes better here because it kind of gives a reason why it's more feasible in that sense. Now, number 14, and the last slide. The spy moved through the crowd, careful not to draw attention to himself. What do you think might be the answer from our options here? Yes, it's surreptitiously. Surreptitiously. And think about the other ones here. Careful not to draw attention, so it can't be openly or boldly, okay, because these mean quite the opposite. Plainly doesn't really work. It's not really a word we want to use. Surreptitiously, it means to be careful, not to make yourself known or to draw attention to yourself. Okay, so this is perfect word for this sentence. Okay, so this is the end. Make sure you have a look at the video here on the side. You can test your level in just a few minutes and work out what level in English you are. I would really recommend that if you haven't done it before. So please go back over the video. Remember the slides are there. They're on the eye and they're also under the video if you're on a mobile and tablet. Go through, practice, learn these words and use them in everyday life. It'll be quite interesting to raise your level. And please remember, it's fun. Try again and just keep going until you get it right. See you later.